Hi fam. So in today's video, I'm going to give you permission to graduate yourself. Actually, it's really to teach you how to give yourself your own permission and graduate yourself. Because there are so many things that you can do in your life that you already are doing, that you already are, and that you don't need like to go get some certificate or piece of paper or put in 4 more years of school to like go out into the world and say you are the thing and charge for your wisdom and your experience in said field of knowledge or skill set, you know? Of course, there are exceptions to this, you know, like if you're a brain surgeon or you want to be an astronaut, you know, freaking go to school and like show me that you know your shit. But, you know, otherwise, so many of us, you know, we are in this new kind of paradigm of the work field where it's like your lived experience is valuable. You know, the stuff you've gone through in your life is valuable and how you've learned and processed from that. And so, you know, I want to give you some examples from my own life to show you how quickly this can happen and how you really can quickly embody it if you just like kind of flip this switch and like give yourself the permission to say you are the thing because you're already kind of doing the thing. My first example would be becoming a teacher. So many of you know from knowing me or I mention it in so many videos because it was such a fruitful time in my life, but I was a missionary Catholic nun for 8 years. So most of my 20s, I was a nun. I had never been a teacher before. I studied social work. I had a BA in social work and like that was it. And so being in the convent, we were kind of thrown into various being a missionary, you learn to be very resourceful and you're asked to do all kinds of random shit that like you've never probably done before. That's actually going to be stuff for another video based on this. But we were thrown into classrooms to teach people about Jesus and Christ and all this stuff. And so I had some of that like kind of experience teaching, but I was not a teacher and I had never really officially taught as a teacher in a school. However, you know, my first job outside of the convent was being a Spanish teacher. I had never taught Spanish in my life. Was I fluent? Yes. Had I ever taught it as a subject? No. Had I ever worked as a teacher in an actual school? No. I had only taught religion like on Saturdays for an hour. You know what I mean? But that was my first job. And I knew I could do it. I knew I was fluent. I knew the language. I knew I could make up worksheets and like activities with kids. And so I did it and I got that job. And then it turned into a full-time job teaching Spanish and religion. And then that was my livelihood for my first 4 years out of school. St. Rose School in Haddon Heights, New Jersey. I love all my kids. So that's one example. Another example here in Phoenix. I got a job in the arts and I had never worked in the arts in my life. I didn't know a damn thing about the arts world. I just knew I had the skill sets to work in the position. And so I applied and got a job in the arts and like learned about the arts things on the way. But I knew I could work. I knew I had the skills for the position, you know? And then most recently, all of the gigs that I do as an entrepreneur have just been me saying, I am the thing because I do the thing and have the skill sets. So my first gig when I left the 9-to-5 world was being a virtual assistant. And yes, you can go to virtual assistant school. Yes, you can get a certificate that says you're a virtual assistant. You can belong to certain virtual assistant like groups or programs. I just knew I had all the skill sets and I have gotten my first 4 clients and still have clients just from saying, this is what I do, this is what I'm good at, and you know, people knowing me. And so I just like labeled myself a virtual assistant and like put my services out there and people hired me because like I had done and knew how to do the things and I was calling myself that. And you own it, you know, when you know what you're doing, you know, you like flip this switch and you own it and you're like, Yes, I'm a virtual assistant. Yes, I am. That energy is like people believe you because you believe you, right? Another one that is really funny is last summer I got an opportunity to house and pet sit for family friends, which was lovely. And it was a whole month long in a beautiful home with a lovely dog. And I would walk him every day. About halfway through the month, the neighbors across the street come over to me and they're like, hi, we are so-and-so, we live here. Are you a house and pet sitter? And at that moment, I could have been like, no, I'm just doing this for family friends. But instead I said, I had a moment and I was like, yeah. Because I liked doing it. It was something I could do. I love taking care of a beautiful home. I obviously love animals. I'm really responsible and really I take nice care of people's home. I take nice care of my home. It was a job I actually liked doing. So when she asked me, do you do this? Are you a house and pet sitter? I was like, yes, I am. And from there, they hired me for a gig that summer, and they have since hired me again. And so that's how that came about. And then I put that on my website, and now I have reviews now, and I have regular clients now, and that is only because I was doing the thing, and then I said that I was the thing, and I owned it. You know what I mean? And then the last example is being a coach, which I wrote about in my last post. You can go to the last quote and it kind of tells the story, but coaching, this is just the natural evolvement of what I've been doing my whole life. In high school I was a retreat leader, in college I was a campus minister, then I became a nun, then I from the convent experienced utter burnout, and so I went through my own burnout recovery, learning about being an empath and highly sensitive, all of these things, kind of recovered and healed myself. And now I'm in a place where I can hold a lot of space for people, and where I, help people to believe in themselves and love themselves and honor their body and all of those things. And so, it's just something I've been doing this whole time. So, just to give you some perspective in this world, if you're already doing the thing, just say you are the thing and do it. And if you're looking to go to school or to get a certificate because it's actually something you want, it's a different skill set, or you want to learn a certain technique, great, go do that. But if you're going back to school, or if you're getting a certificate on something because you don't feel like you're ready or good enough or confident to say that you already are the thing that you're doing, then that's where the inner work begins. Stop validating getting your validation from the outside. That's a whole paradigm thing, right? We need to start validating ourselves first, and first baseline, I am worthy and lovable and amazing just being me. Then, I already have these amazing skills that are of value to people. I don't need a university or a 4-year degree or someone to sign a paper to say that I already know how to speak Spanish, or whatever the thing might be. So, there's nothing wrong with going to school and learning certain techniques if you don't already have them. But if it's just a means of getting external validation or feeling good about yourself from outside sources, that, my friend, is where the inner work begins. Because, then you're just going to be eternally going to school instead of actually owning your gifts and amazingness and walking through the world in them. You know what I mean? If I were to tell you, oh, I'm going to go to school to learn how to hold space for people, to learn how to be a coach, to learn how to be a spiritual guide, people would be like, Kelly, you already are that. And I say that to you, whatever it is you're thinking of, being an artist, a teacher, a mentor, whatever field that you're already dabbling in and you already have skill sets in, you already are the thing, 9 times out of 10. And 9 times out of 10, you don't need another piece of paper. Just start doing the thing if you want to, and do the thing for money or not for money. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a job thing. It can just be Oh, I love photography. I am a photographer. You know, I go take pictures, make a website, do it. You know what I mean? Like if you're a YouTuber and you make videos, like open your channel and start putting it out there, you know? My first videos on YouTube had nothing to do with, you know, coaching or anything. They were just like me sharing my life, and it was fun for me. And so I did that. Now it has turned into a means of like connecting with people and coaching people, but it wasn't originally that way. It was just fun. And I knew that I could help people just by sharing. So yeah, don't sell yourself short. You probably, like literally 9 times out of 10, already have all you need, already are all you need. You just have to believe it and like say it and then walk through the world as it. And that's where your energy, it's different. Your energy becomes impactful when you believe yourself. That's the magic in believing yourself, because just like you can tell when somebody doesn't have a high self-esteem or they don't believe in their skills, you can feel that kind of uncertain energy, as opposed to someone who walks through the world knowing they're the shit. You know what I mean? Like knowing they like know their stuff in whatever field they're claiming to know it in, and you know, have confidence. That doesn't mean, you know, be super, you know, kind of arrogant. And it also doesn't mean don't be open to learning new things, which is what my next video will be on. But it does mean like we all need to, like we all need to believe more in ourselves. Like that's what's lacking because of so much of how we grew up. You know, maybe your parents' voices are in your head, or teachers' voices are in your head that you're not good enough, or you know, you don't know how to spell, or you know, you suck at dance. And it's like, you know, that's where the inner work comes in, like unraveling that and actually owning your brilliance, because you are. So this is here for you to own your brilliance and start believing in yourself. So that is all. I love you very much, and I hope this message helped you to step into your magnificence. Have a beautiful day.